So this is probably going to be the most important video you guys will watch as an ADA holder. And I have to say that, we look at things through a very short-term perspective. And the reason why we do that is so people have an understanding of where there is opportunity, what trends tend to do. And in fact, they lead to something much, much bigger that I think people are missing out on right now. And in fact, there's something that's kind of pressing on the market that we haven't had in the past that may in fact change what is happening currently. And we need to talk about this. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I have to say that most people, especially new people, they tend to accumulate when prices are high. Unfortunately, when times are down and prices frankly kind of suck, not a lot of people look at the crypto market. More people buy at the top than do at the bottom. And obviously that means there's been a lot of people that on this surge up have accumulated up in these ranges, which has now been basically taking place since November 22nd. There are also people that accumulated obviously at the high of the last market cycle and are waiting for a new all-time high and another extension. And we talked about obviously earlier some of the buy zone flashes that have been taking place on the ADA charts. Very exciting stuff. Now, what I will say, and I didn't get to talk about in this video, is we are actually playing out to almost a picture perfect Wyckoff distribution model. Now, what you can see is that this is almost spot on. And what that indicates is that we may in fact go through a little bit of retracement here. Now, all right, this isn't bearish. This isn't to create FUD or anything like that, because what I want to point out is the fact of we experienced this same thing last market cycle, right? And instead of actually extending down and falling into phase E, we actually extended and boomed as the crypto market. And then that actually brought us to what we experienced next. And that is this euphoria, this explosion in the charts. And what I want to show you is the longer term perspective of assets in general. So I'm going to get rid of all my drawings here so you guys can see just what we do in these market cycles. So November was incredible, guys. This is a 215% move. That is a massive daily candle for a monthly candle for a multi-billion-dollar asset. And this December candle has been quite small. It's a down 4.89%, really not that big of a deal. Now, if we look at last market cycle, you guys can see that, November was good for ADA. December ended up turning into a green month after having a pretty sizable retracement. Look at this wick down, guys. This is from basically candle close in November. See if I can measure this. This is from candle close in November down about 25%, right? Candle close in November down to the wick here at about 14%. All right. So the point I want to make is that we're doing what we've done in cycles past. The shorter term time frames might be slightly different. And in fact, in ADA's case, it's very, very similar. But then I want to show you what happens following there. Look at January of 2021 into basically up only season, right? The big boom and alt season that we've been waiting for. We're there from a technical perspective, but we're not there from an adoption and capital perspective, right? A capital inflow from outside the space. So we did a 90% candle in January of 2021. We had a 280% candle in February of 2021. And then there were even some more green candles before we got to our May into June retracement. And then obviously we know what happened to close out the bull market cycle for ADA. August being another 109% candle to the upside. So the point I want to make is people need to get it out of their head of, oh my God, these short-term moves, we've dropped 5% on the daily, we're done, we're falling back, right? Because if you zoom out and you look at the bigger, longer term perspective, you can get much better context about where we're headed in this market cycle. Now, what I want to also show you guys is what the overall market cap of altcoins does during these times. So you guys can see that actually December is kind of a green candle right now. This does include Ethereum as well. And we know Ethereum has been making some nice moves this month so far. But you guys can see that, we had, again, a great November. We're having a decent start to December. And we did this exact same thing last market cycle. November was good. December, kind of a baby month. It's kind of where some people are in fact taking profit. You have about half the month that's bad and then about half the month that's good. The good news is ADA's had, it's already bad half of the month. Now we may have a good half of the month. This isn't a guarantee or financial advice or anything like that. Just know that's the trend you typically see. And then again, we entered up only season. Look at these months of just booming green candles. And during that time, we'll have sub cycles. We'll see layer ones pump sometimes. We'll see AI coins pump sometimes. You'll see meme coins pump sometimes. It's just kind of the matriculation of capital that happens in the space. But this isn't even a new concept, right? This happens cycle after cycle after cycle. Look at green November, green December, up only season, boom. That is what is happening. Now, what you need to understand is that things are a little bit different this time because in the market as a whole, we're getting a little bit of I don't want to call it unnatural pressure on the buying side, but it's pressure that hasn't been there before in the terms of institutional money. So we are in the process of going through institutional adoption, and that is obviously pushing BTC to do some pretty incredible things. That's obviously the reason why BTC set a new all-time high before the halving. That's why it's much higher than it normally would be. Now, is this a good thing? Yeah, sure, it is. And the reason why I say it's kind of a good thing is it gives people an improper understanding of where alts should be. Alts are doing the same thing they've always done. All right. Frankly, people are like, oh, yeah, BTC's at 104K. This asset should be at this price. No. That's not how it works. Okay. BTC has had some unnatural buying pressure because we have seen probably about $30 billion worth of capital enter the market from institutional money that was not here before. You also have discussions of governments buying Bitcoin and other assets for reserves, right? And this has pushed BTC to some insanely high prices much earlier than what they should have reached, right? That's why, frankly, my peak of 125K BTC to potentially 150K may even be on the low side now. But what this also does at the same time is if you are seeing governments and institutional money having this kind of confidence in those assets, what do you think the retail market does? It tends to follow. They're a laggard, right? They are typically the latest ones to come to the cycle. All right. Now, that's a good thing for us because we're here, right? We already have positions set, we have opportunities to accumulate. And mass adoption at this point, because of this embrace from institutional money and governments, it's an inevitability. Okay. You are not stopping adoption. And what that means is that at some point, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, whenever it is, we are going to see a big wave of adoption in the crypto market. Remember, we're expected to grow from 400 million people in crypto right now to over 800 million by the end of this market cycle. Think about the wave that brings. Think about what that does in terms of price. So some of these shorter term time frames, ADA might drop to 90 cents or 78 cents or follow some of these fib retracement levels. They make sense from a structure standpoint, but the problem is when you are getting out of infancy in a market, it changes things entirely. That's why right now we might be talking about $1.02 ADA, and over the course of 2 weeks' time, we might be talking about $2 ADA. That's the perspective that I think and context that I think people need to have, because you're not going to stop the adoption that's going to hit the market. And because of ADA being a US based crypto, because of it seeing massive developments during this time, because of it really being on the doorstep of getting adoption in a big way, it has all the potential in the world. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.